inte.
Jag vet inte.
Ska vi säga. Så där spelas in också.
Jag såg det. Jag vet inte om man stänger av det eller du vill spela in det.
Nej, det vet jag inte.
Ja, vi har satt igång inspelning.
Okej, jag har sjukt dålig koll på det här med Teams.
Jag har inte heller så väst på det nu.
Jag säger här. Hur fan unmutar man då?
Men det går inte om alla är unmutade nu så du kan inte. Ja, unmute vet jag inte vad man gör.
对，你帮按一下就点出静音了呀，对就可以了。屏幕重新打开，大屏幕打开，到哪去了？
Det är en man kan räkna det en gång. De sitter lite under rum allihop.
怎么没有了？重新要加入。哎呦我天哪！
Lanny!
这在哪里啊？哦，这
Lanny!
网出错了是写的话断着。
Can anyone hear me on the other side? Tommy?
Jag hör det.
Okay. Anyone else? You need to engage at least one microphone, but just one.
Jag skriver åt mig att han har vi.
来了呀，我手机也连上，可以连上了。你重新加入吧，你右边他按那个重新加入，那个呢，这不是有重新加入？啊，现在可以了。不，你现在重新加入试一下看，那现在不是又马上来了吗？
Lanny!
这个网怎么断掉？正在联系对你这边的网。
好多人了。
对呀，手机都已经可以。对呀，我手机也已经可以了呀。 你电脑上，你看看你是不是电脑按了突击了？啊，天哪！我看，有了吧？现在来了啊！然后你把麦克风，你现在静音掉了，你就听你那个吧。
Everybody, I got a question. Does everything work as it is right now?
Ni 现在还没有动静啊。好了，可以开始了。
Du säger jag skriver nu, det ser ut så.
Nej.
Okej.
Hello Frank.
Hi, good morning. Is everything
Just
okay with the
没有出错了。
microphones on the speakers?
他这里也是又断掉了，怎么回事啊？啊，不是，他这又断掉了。电线。我不知道呢，他们都这样，我不知道你们的用哪里是不是
Lanny, we can hear you perfectly. Can you hear us?
Hello? Yes, you can hear. Yes,
Can you hear
I
us?
will check that. Yes, I can hear you.
Good. You need to keep one microphone running and the other one's muted. Otherwise you will have
Yes,
strange sound.
yes, I'm.
So Gary, can you please mute your mic?
OK。听得到声音吗？你们两个，你们听得到吗？你们只要听得到就可以了，看上面就行了，好吧？可以了，你不用动它了，你看就可以了，你静音就行了，你上面的对，你不要动它了，你就看它上面就行了。它上面的怎么没出来呢？我这边有这个界面的呢。啊，不要这样。我天哪，你们这电脑是怎么回事啊？你的电脑上去了吗，小张？你搞半天你上去没有？手机上去，那你听手机吧。你手机有耳机，你手机的耳机带上来，你这个带着有啥用啊？你要不这样听起来你费力啊，你把耳机带上吧。你要不行的话，你们都或者拿自己手机也行。他为什么在本来在上面看得大一点，怎么老这样
Lanny, whose microphone will you use? Lanny.
要录下来，你来放吧，我搞不好了。
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good. So I have muted now Gary's microphone. So it's your mic now working, Lanny.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
But the other people, they are not working. I'm trying to connect to their computer.
What are you trying to connect? The microphone?
Pardon?
What are you trying to connect?
We are not trying to connect. We have a TV in the conference room, so
Okay.
we would like to connect it to the TV screen so everybody can see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you
So
have
just
to
wait a moment.
Now listen, you have to have only one microphone running, otherwise it will be very strange sound. So now I can see Lewis, his microphone is on. So shut up your microphone, Lewis.
他说只能开一个麦克风，只能开一个，不然太吵了，只能开一个呀。那刚才要不就直接开上面一个。他说你的也开着是吧？麦克风，他说你的麦克风
Only
开着。
one microphone running at the same time.
对，就上面开着呀。那要么就开一个，要么就还是开上面的一个算了。就开大的声音算了，要是。
So now I think the sound is okay. Lanny? I am done.
Yeah.
Vi har ju möte med henne är det onsdag? Och det är samma varenda jävla gång. Han ser ut som han har tappat pengarna och sprungit in i väggen. Ja. Så de fattar. Jag försöker nu koppla upp den nu på tv, tror jag.
Ja, det var väl det du skulle göra.
Ja, jag fortsätter här. Jag har fått ett jobb i Rotterdam 10 mars.
Ja, okej.
En tung honing. En S90. Order 19 februari. Jag skulle varit åkt skidor nu.
Det blir inget med dig.
Gör det.
På min screen.
Så jättebra ut.
Ja, den var. Det är den jag ska säga.
Och du trycker på den där. Då kan du fram conversation. Då kan du skriva till alla om du skriver här med.
Ja.
Om du högerklickar på deras. Den är avstängd. Den är avstängd. Då kan man liksom stänga av deras mikrofon.
Okay.
Oj.
Men de tar inte upp min skärm som helskärm då?
När du börjar prata så blir det nu helskärm hos dem. När du börjar prata så blir det helskärm hos mig.
Om jag högerklickar på min där när jag... Okej.
Men det är där jag får ta det. Då kan jag som låsa den så att den är stor och allting.
Ja, okej. Ja.
那看我这个好了，那我这个在哪里啊？我们的，
你的声音在哪？
声音不是已经最大了呀？我刚才声音已经把它弄到最大了。那我把麦克风开上了。
你的扬声器在那下面。
对啊，那我的扬声器听得到吗？现在听不到呀。啊？是不是没声音啊？
你让他们邀请我一下。
啊，你们说一下嘛。Hello, Tommy, can you hear me?
Yes.
一点听不到。打字的在哪呢？
那个对话框有个框。
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
对。
我看一下。哎，没有啊，那在哪边去了？你们真相哦，在这里，在下面哦，你在下面，在下面。都说了，你只能一个麦克风。这现在你们谁的都开上了吗？还是你们先静音嘛？你们先把它静音掉呀。就你们下面的静音掉就行了呀。
静掉这个。
啊，对，这个静掉就行了。你们手机看的都把它静掉就行了。那我这个说话怎么没声音呢？
你这里没有
speaker。我都能听到你的。
我这边没有 speaker 的是吧？啊，你能听得到吗？
对呀。
听得到，那他们应该也听得到。你们能听得到我这说话的声音吗？
但是他们的声音。
但他们的声音我们听，我这边没有扬声器。哦，对，我这边没有扬声器的，你要接扬声器的嘛，是吧？
没有，你这电脑有扬声器的。
你这扬声器呢？我电脑扬声器不是已经开上了吗？但它没有任何声音啊。Hello, Tommy, can you hear me?
Yes.
那他没声音呀，他们都能听到，那老外怎么没声音
We can hear you. And now Frank will start the
听不到
education.
他要说
开你的扬声器吧。
开了呀，开到最大了呀，开到最大。
没有话筒啊。
所以这边是不是要有话筒才能说的？
哎呀，没有话筒，你们怎么听得到？大哥。
对呀，那我就说。
哎呀，你不能让他们邀请我嘛。
哎呀，邀请你怎么了？那个你那怎么弄上去了啊？哎呦，真的是晕掉了，这搞的嘞。
So, Lanny.
能听耳，我听到我耳机的声音在响。
哎，这边你这边点一下，可以把它推出来。对，啊，有点对。
你说什么推出来？
对，扬声器换一下。
关掉啊？这不关掉吗？扬声器我已经刚才开到最大了呀。
对，这个。
点哪个呀？
对，上面这个。
点哪个呀？
这个扬声器是不是啊？
这就是我这个扬声器啊，我已经开到最大没声音啊。
没有话，你没有耳朵，没有音箱不行。
所以我就是对呀，要有音箱的呀。我这电脑没有，对呀，没有要有音箱的呀，要接音箱才行的呀，是吧？你这要接音箱才行的呀。
我们办公室没有音箱吗？
我这以前有个音箱的，但是那个音箱不知道会不会来，我不知道。卢嫂的电脑上有音箱吗？我以前要接个音箱才行的。你这边为什么会议室里面就接？我这边倒是能上去，但是没有音箱呀。哎，这个真是晕掉了，搞的嘞。我以前这边不是有一对音箱的吗？没了。记得以前这里有一对音箱的。全部都关掉，我戴上耳机跟他说算了，你们自己看你们那个。这个没有音箱呀，这个不行。
Nu är Lisa som är.
Hi, Tommy.
Hi, Lanny.
So, okay, you can hear?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear. Now Frank can start the education. So please pay attention.
Okay, then I have to ask everybody to use their mobile phone because we tried to use, maybe the network in our office is not good.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have to use the mobile phone. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Frank, it's all yours.
Okay. First of all, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Frank.
I have some material here for you. I don't know if you use your phone, if you can read everything. But I'm pretty
Yes, we can read, but it's just the screen is a little, it's small, but it's okay.
Okay. The thing is, this material is available to you, I think. I don't know where you can have it, but I'm sure if you don't have it, you can ask Daniel for it, so you can read it later if you want to.
I think we have already had this. Daniel should have already sent to us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is very good.
Training material.
Okay, then I just get started. I go through this. It's a 80-page long presentation, but I will go through it as quickly as I can, and then we have some show and tell with the CTM and everything. First of all, for those who I haven't met, which is basically everybody, I'm Frank. I work for TSA in Sweden. I worked with Tommy for, how long is it now? 15 or 16 years in different jobs. My background is I'm a sailor and I worked in a shipyard with Tommy. And I've been with Chris Marine for about 10 years now. I work with a service department, so I do education, but I'm also out working, honing, doing LDM work, and we are a little bit involved with development as well. So that was a little bit about me. This CCM we have a couple of different things we have to go through. It's the LDM, it's the CTM, replica, and there was something more. I just forgot. Oh, the camera, of course. This is basically the training program for today. I will just go through them very quickly. So, I'm guessing everybody knows what this is. This is our portfolio for maintaining machines. A little bit different for maintaining injectors and everything. We have a cleaning program and we have a monitoring program. And the monitoring program is where we will focus for today. This is a typical two-stroke engine. And we have, let's see if I can do this. This part here is the part where we can access the liner without removing the cylinder cover. So this is where all the action is from our part, monitoring the liners. The portfolio, as I told you before, is replica. We have an oil drain sample, we have a camera, CTM, and the LDM. Those are the tools we are using to check how the liner is. We are trying to do this like a monthly basis, just to have a very good view of how the engine is feeling, so to speak. So the first year we recommend that you do it like once a month or maybe even tighter, just to make sure that the lubrication and everything is as it should be. And after that year, maybe once every 3 or 4 months, depending on how the result from previous measurements has been. The consequence, if you have problems that you don't know about, is that you will have to change liner, hold them in place. Worst case scenario, I have to fly liners all over the world. This case, I was on this job with David. It was a brand new engine. It was 400 hours old, and we have to hone 2 of the liners. And I think one of them was so bad that it was almost worn out already after 400 hours. So that is why it's so important to have a good view of your liner condition. With these techniques we use, we have seen that 1/3 of all the vessels have a tendency to have scuffing, and that is all just the boats we have tested. So if you extrapolate that fact that 1/3 of all the vessels in the world is in the risk of scuffing, that is a lot of liners and a lot of boats. And of course, it's good business for us, but it's very bad business for the customer to change liners, everything. So that is why we are monitoring everything. We have seen that when we hone a liner, we get a very rough surface. And this is basically just to have a good starting surface for the piston ring's life. And after that, you will have a tendency, if the liner is wearing normally, you will have these very nice open graphite pockets, which basically is an oil reservoir for the liner. So the oil actually can stick to the liner. If those will be clogged or something else happens, you will get scuffing, and that is basically micro welding between the piston rings and the liner wall, which of course is a bad thing. This is a typical picture of scuffing. All the graphite pockets are smeared together or in some other way clogged up. We have no oil reservoir, the micro welding takes place, and you will get cracks in that surface. And when those cracks start to open up, you will get a very high rate of wear in the liner, which basically in the end means that you have to change the liner to a very high cost. This problem started when it's always been there more or less, but it accelerated when in 2020, when the low sulfur fuels were starting to use, because the natural wear of the liner decreased a little bit. And that triggered something that almost no one thought would happen, but it happened. So scuffing has been a very big problem since then. And if you do not take action, when you see that you have bore polish, your liner could wear out in less than 1 year. Basically, that is what we saw on with the picture where we did the honing. If we do this CCM, we can detect problems early on and take actions, and the liner can outlast the vessels. We have some different problems. So if you have a high sulfur fuel operation, you can get something called cold corrosion, which is a bad thing. You get an abnormal high wear in the liner, which basically destroys the liner. And the same thing is if you have a low fuel, a low sulfur fuel, you can get the scuffing problem. So basically, it's a very narrow road you have to walk if you're gonna have the liners for a very, very long time. If you lubricate too much, they will wear out, and if you lubricate too little, they will wear out as well. So it's a very narrow path. We use CCM to check for cold corrosion, and we use CCM to check for everything else. And we have this graph here where we can actually predict when the liners are going to wear out. So if we don't do anything from the beginning, we just walk on, we can figure out that if we follow this graph, that the liner is going to wear out after 10,000 hours. But if we see the problems with the CCM program, we can take actions, more lubricating oil or less lubricating oil, and then we can change this curve so we can actually outlast the vessel. This graph here is a fairly complicated picture from MAN, but it shows you how difficult it is to have this balance of lubricating oil. So basically this, let me see here, I think this part here is where you want to be. If you lower the lubricating oil, you get an abnormal wear. If you increase the lubricating oil, you also get an abnormal wear. So this sweet spot here is where you want to be. And if you have this cold corrosion, no action, you have to recondition the cylinder or replace it. If you use the CCM from the beginning at the sea trial, you can actually see the problems from the beginning and take actions. How liners wear. This is a little bit difficult to say exactly how they are going to wear, but one common denominator they have is that they always wear mostly in the top. So by natural, you will get kind of like a trumpet shape of the liner. And on top of that, you will also get, or could get, a novelty shape. And that means that the piston rings do not seal properly against the liner wall, and you will get blow-by and you lose power, and worst case scenario, you destroy the piston rings and they collapse and you will get a scavenge compartment fire. And the only way to measure these clover patterns is with the LDM, because if you measure this with a stick, you will not get exactly how the liner looks like. It's very difficult to detect if you don't have a LDM or yeah. When do we do this cylinder reconditioning? And that is what we call honing. And that is where you have a lack of oil pockets. And that is basically the scuffing scenario. You will also have to recondition if you have cold corrosion. That will basically dig a really big pit in the liner, or if somehow the oil cannot be stuck to the liners. If you have a very sharp trumpet shape, you will actually wear down the piston rings, and you also have to hone it to a nicer trumpet shape, or not as sharp trumpet shape. And if you have a non-circular liner, that means you have a very sharp clover that will cause blow-by, and that is not a good thing, that either. This is the portfolio we have for fixing a liner. We have a honing machine, a grinding machine, and a little bit of that. But you already know this information, of course. Summary, CCM and CR now. Several engines switched to low fuel liners. That was in 2020, and they haven't kept up the changes of the lubricating oil. So many boats have problems today without even knowing it, and that is something that it could affect the boat later, because if everybody discovers that they have a problem at the same time, you have a liner shortage, and yeah, worst case scenario, the boat have to go off hire. Urgent maintenance is much more costly than planned maintenance, because if you plan it, you can stop the boat when you want to and do the maintenance there, instead of emergency maintenance in a port where you have to fly the liners in or fly the tools in. That's I don't know where we are in the. Okay, we can start with the drain oil sampling analysis. This is something. The drain oil sample has to be taken when the boat is going in the water. It's not possible to do it after the boat has come to port. So therefore, if you want to have the drain oil samples, you have to contact the boat well in advance and inform them that they have to take the drain oil samples themselves, and then we can pick it up on the boat. Because when the boat is at that port, it's too late. This have to be done when the boat is moving. And what we see, let's see here, we have to have at least 30 milliliters. This has to be collected when the boat is at the same load level on all the liners. And of course, you have to mark which cylinder you take the samples from. You can also collect a bunker sample, a fresh lube oil sample, to have something to compare with. I think we have a data sheet for this. You can fill in which feed rate you have for the liners and everything. And of course, they send it, or we pick it up when we do the LDM or CCM on the boat and take it up for analysis. And this is basically what we see in the samples. There's a lot of elements here, but what we are interested in is ferrites and the calcium. The calcium tells me how much of the calcium has been used to neutralize sulfur, and ferritic kind of tells you how big the wear is on the liner. It's slightly misleading, because if you have a very high ferritic wear and you increase the lubricating oil, it will seem that you have a lower wear, because the ferrite will show less. But in real life, you have just diluted it a little bit, so you have more oil with less iron in it, but the wear could be exactly the same. And this is basically the same as before. We have the replica analysis. I think this is by far the most visual thing we have to look at the liner wall, because you see very, very high details in the surface. And somewhere around here, I think I can put on a video. I did this with Dubai not long ago, and it didn't work very well. But we can try it. Let's see here. If I start the video here, can you see the video on your side?
Yes, can see that.
Okay. Then we just let it roll. This is basically how you're supposed to take a sample from the replica. Clean everything up. Make sure the extruder gun works as it should be. Extract the compound on the backing plate. And apply it to the wall. And you keep it there for 1 to 2 minutes. And this is true for the F1 compound. If you have another compound, the time may vary. You protect the sample with a piece of paper or something. And you mark it clearly so you know what line you took it with. Put it in a bag, and you're done. So at this point, I think you will send the sample to us, and this is basically what we can find out from the sample analysis. We can find cat fines, that is very small, extremely hard particles, that is from the fuel oil. The cat fines is added to the fuel oil when you refine it to get more oil out of the crude oil. And I think it's called separators or purifiers. The purifiers on board a boat is designed to remove cat fines from the fuel. And depending on the state of the purifiers, they are more or less successful of doing that. And if you have a poor filtering system and very bad purifiers, the cat fines will enter the liner through the fuel oil and embed themselves in the cylinder wall. And those are extremely hard. So they will they will wear down the piston rings extremely fast. You can destroy a set of piston rings in 24 hours if you are very unlucky. We can see scuffing, and that is a result of an early bore polish, micro weldings between the piston rings and the liner wall. We can see if everything looks as it should, if it's normal, or if we have a bore polish situation. And this shows very clearly under a microscope. The thing with the replica is you need to clean it very well before you apply it, because the compound is how do you say it? It's a two-part compound. When you mix them together, they start to harden immediately. But if you introduce oil, or if you have an oily surface, the process of solidifying stops. So they will just get smeary, and you cannot read anything out from the sample. So it's very important that everything is clean when you apply the sample. We have the camera, which takes one set of picture with 4 pictures for every opportunity. And we have a video for that one as well, somewhere around here. First thing you do is adjust the plate so it fits the liner, and I urge you to read the manual. We have had some incidents where the camera plate actually got stuck inside the liner. So if you're gonna measure a 500 millimeter liner, you do the plates 419. That is 10 millimeters smaller than the nominal diameter. Because if you get everything up to the parts where the combustion happens, just above the piston rings, you can have carbon deposits and everything, and this plate can get stuck. So it's very important that you make it 10 millimeters smaller than the nominal diameter. And you adjust one side at a time, so you get like a radius from the beginning. If you look closely there, it's 600 liner, and the plate is 590 millimeters. Insert the plate. First thing you do is put in a height gauge. This is just because you don't want to squish the camera, and it's basically just a tell if you have enough space in the top. I have never seen that one being bent over by the exhaust valves, but I'm sure it will happen sometime. This means if this one is not bent over, the clearance is sufficient. If it's bent over, you cannot turn the engine all the way around. This is preparation for inserting the camera. You polish the lenses if you have oil or so on them. Reach the height. And I think the nominal time for this one is 60 seconds before the camera starts to take pictures. So you have a minute to insert the camera. And you get 3 quick flashes, and then a very bright one, and the turning of the engine can start. And in this case, you do a 4 revolutions, and you will get pictures from the entire liner. You remove the camera and you remove the plate. That's it. What we can see from the pictures, those are taken with other camera outside, is the piston ring area. We are trying to get good photos with a tablet at the moment with the right lighting and something to hold it. But I think these ones are taken with a normal cell phone. We use everything we can just to get the best possible pictures. But these ones are taken inside from the liner with the camera. And you can actually see if you have black lacquering, And if you do something about this scenario and do the CCM again, you can see if you have solved the problem or not. That's why it's kind of important to do this on a regular basis. The setup of this is you have 3 cameras on the side, which gives you a 360-degree overlapping picture of the liner. You have one camera facing upwards, so you can see the injectors and the exhaust valve. You can download everything on the tablet, or you can download it on a computer later on, whichever you think is more convenient. And it basically fits every bore size from 480 to 980. It says here no need to lower coolant temperature, but the camera can actually overheat, and the hotter the camera gets, the poorer quality of the picture. So you want to do, you don't want the liner to be over 70 degrees. And since you're doing this with the LDM, and the LDM demands that you have a lower than 70 degrees temperature in the liner, it's natural that you will get below 70, even if you only have the camera. Let's say the current version, okay, I don't know how old this text is, but the current version of the LCC, I think you can download everything at the same time, but the way we on the TSA team use it, we take all the pictures, leave them in the camera, and download it when we get home. We are currently trying to improve the software a little bit so it will be more user-friendly, but it has not been released yet. The camera has to be shot for at least 3 hours. If you have a lot of liners, it could be that you need to recharge the camera in between the liners. And you'll have 3 LEDs on top of the camera that shows you how much battery you have left. And these are the parts. It's a tablet, a camera, a plate, and the distance template, a couple of cables, and an insert and takeout tool. And this is basically how you're supposed to do it. I suggest you read this a little bit later so you understand everything. This is a practical event engine training. Next tool we are using is a CTM, and that is a coating thickness measuring device. I measure the coatings on the piston rings. I will put up another video of this. This shows you where you want to have the piston. You put the piston in the correct position. Let's see here if I can get the next one. And you need to get the piston rings kind of clean, because if you have contaminations on it, the measurement will be slightly off. You take off the protective cap. You turn it on. You will see a stripe line. And you just push it against the piston rings. And you will get a reading from that one, and that is in microns. And you measure a couple of times on each piston rings, and you take an average. In this case, you have 7.2 microns of coating, which is not very much. I think the coating is supposed to be somewhere between 600 and 400 from the beginning, but you have a little bit of a variation because the process of making the coating, you cannot control it very accurate. So you have a small deviation. So it's important that you measure a couple of places and many times. Different brands have different kinds and different numbers of piston rings. Like MAN normally have 4 piston rings, and Wärtsilä and BW has 3. So it's very important that you know which engine you're measuring, so you get all the rings. It's a couple of types of piston ring. You have a gas lock for some of them, and some of them are just cut, and some have these grooves in it, and some don't, depending on where they are on the ring pack. So we have the numbers for it. Normally the top ring has a coating of cermet. The coating is supposed to be, I said 400, here it said 550 to 600 micron. And a soft aluminium coating on that one for about 250 to 300 microns. So this is the number you expect to see if the liner is okay, or if the piston ring is new. This cermet coating can last between 10 and 40,000 running hours. And the aluminium coating wears off within 500 to 3,000 hours. So that is basically just a running-in coating. And all the bad things that happens in the liner, like more polish or cat fines or corrosive wear, will accelerate the coating wear rate, of course. We have a scenario that if you have a hard chrome coated piston ring, it's also true that the coating thickness varies around the circumference due to the manufacturing process, basically. So you will get a slight variation of everything, but it should stay around 400 to 600 microns. Like the LDM, we can actually figure out when the coating is worn off by doing this graph. And if it's too steep and you take action, you can actually prolong the coating life. And you can actually see it quite clearly if you measure it on a constant base. And like this, we can predict that the coating will wear out in 10,000 hours, for example. What do we have more here? We have the LDM tool, which measure the LiDAR very accurately. And here we can also see the trend surface if you have a very high wear trend. Like if you take this trend from the beginning and do nothing, you will have a maximum wear around here, and that is about 4,000 hours. But if you tinker with a lubricating oil or you do something else, you can actually prolong the wear of the liner, so it doesn't wear out as fast. And this is, I think this is an old picture of measurements taken with a inside micrometer at one point, and then we tested it with the LDM, and it's basically the same. So the LDM works very, very good. And what you will see when you take the LDM measurement, you will see this graph when you have extruded all the information. And the red one is the measurement fore and aft. The blue one is the measurement port starboard. And the green one here is the difference between those two. So that will show you how oval the liner is, or at least an indication that you have a ovality of it. The ovality could be triangular depending on how many injectors you have, or if you run on high sulfur fuel oil and everything. It's not really clear exactly how the ovality will appear, but you can normally see if you have 3 injectors, you will get a triangular oval shape. If you have some funny business with lubricating oil, you can actually get almost like a star shape. And that is a mirror of how many lube oil injectors you have on the liner. We can actually see other faults as well. Like if you measure 8 liners straight in a engine, the oval shape will typically look the same on all the liners. But if you have an oval shape that is kind of tilted from the other ones, it could be something else. Like in this case, it was a broken stay bolt in the system, which actually deformed the liner a little bit. So you can see much more than just wear. The normal wear profile for a liner is like this. You have almost no wear in the bottom, and it increases a little bit, and then you have a slight trumpet shape on the top. If you have a scuffing scenario, it will look something like this. You have extremely high wear in the upper parts of the liner, and it ends up in an extreme trumpet shape that basically kills the piston rings. This is an onboard version of the LDM. It's pre-calibrated from here, and they use it on only one engine, so they don't need all the tools around it. And this is the tools you get. This is a height meter, the LDM, a tablet, interface box, an inside micrometer, and a calibrator rig. Is not standard for everyone, but if you have a, yeah, maybe I might be wrong here. They might get on a calibrating rig for the onboard version as well. I'm not 100% sure of that, but a little bit of cables and insert and takeout tools and a screwdriver. The workshop version, you get all the extra leg and it's quite a bit more of things you get with it. I'm guessing you have the workshop version at your place, and it weighs about almost 30 kilos. Some engines we have figured out that they need to get grinded in the scavenge port because the manufacturing process. So you will get kind of teeth shape in the holes, and the LDM will not fit basically. And you will have to have 30. I think it's 35 millimeters. It should be here somewhere here. Well, I will figure it out for you. But we have a paper from MN that says that it's acceptable to grind those teeth down just to get the LDM in and out. Normally, when we go out and do a LDM measurement, we send this to the customer in advance, where we ask the customer to fill in the different numbers we need to know about the piston. It's basically the top land height here, which is the center of the highest piston ring to the top of the piston. And we need to know these numbers because if you get those numbers wrong, we can actually destroy the instrument, or we are measuring in the wrong place. So it's very important that you send this to the customer, he fills it in, and you get it back. But when you get out and measure something or measure an engine, you will need to check that the customer has made the right measurement, because at least half of the time the customer has made a mistake. So if you just buy their numbers straight off without double checking them, you might be destroying your instrument. So please double check that before you measure. Measurement levels. Some boats want to have their original measurements. These are the measurements we recommend. On top of, I just forgot that. These numbers here will actually generate a number of measurement points in the top. From 0, that is the top center of the top piston ring where it turns, TDC. That means top dead center, and to the bottom piston ring. And normally you will get 8 or 9 different measurements. And on top of that, we measured 200 and 300, 400 and 500,000, 1500, 2000 and 2500, depending on how long the stroke is. then you will actually see, or you will get a very nice idea how the liner looks. You will always do the calibration as much as possible in the workshop in a very controlled environment, because we have seen that even from our own guys that sometimes it's very hard to do a calibration on board. We have done that sometimes, but it's not ideal to do it. What we do on TDC2, that is where the second piston ring turns in the top, is we will take this clover measurement. And we always do that on TDC2, and you can do it on the way up when you're measuring, or you can do the entire measuring sequence and then do the clover afterwards. It's all up to you, but as long as you remember it, it's okay. And this will take about 5 minutes. All of these numbers you will extract either on the tablet or in your computer, and it's called a post-processing tool that is fully automatic. You will include all your liners, and the Excel document will extract all the data, so you will get this picture automatically. And I don't know, do you have an LDM at your place so you can do a training, like a practical training? Is anyone with me in China? Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello, Patrick.
Okay.
Yes, we have LDM in office now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is good.
So do you want us to operate it?
Let's see, how much do I have left here? Well, let me go through this presentation. Maybe we can have a coffee break later. And you can start everything, and I will try to connect to your tablet from here.
Okay.
It's much easier to show them. Okay, but then I know that you have an instrument. That is good.
Yeah. Okay.
So I will just continue here.
Frank, jag hoppar ur detta när jag ska in i ett nytt möte.
Vad sa du?
Jag hoppar ur detta när jag ska in i ett nytt möte.
Okay.
Hej.
Hi. So Tower disappeared. In the tablets, okay, I can show you this later. This is also for later. This is more of a practical run. Poor signal quality. I will go through this later. Summary. And I think I have a small video of this as well. If we don't, we'll have the coffee break now. I think we can use this one. It's called LDM step by step. And normally this will be done by the crew. They will have this prepared when we arrive. And what we need to have is the inspection hatch for the scavenge area removed. We need to have a hole on the top to get inside the liner. Indicator cock works like in this case. We have taken out the injector valve. Some want to take out the starting air valve. As long as you have I think it's a 30mm hole, it's okay for the antenna. We'll need to insert the height measurement tool. You can connect the height measurement tool and the antenna to the interface box. Turn everything on. This is a really old version where they have the PDA computer. And some engines are easier than others. I've been on a job where we actually had to modify the insert tools just to get into the liner. It took a while to do that. So the base first and then the arm, and the arm is to get on the liner. Or the piston, sorry about that. You will get a visual green light on the interface box when it's okay. If you just follow the numbers on the tablet, you will most of the time miss your spot because you have a kind of a data lag between the interface box and the PDA or the tablet. So when you think you're in the right place on the tablet, you have gone too far. The measurement is taken at 0, 19, 180 and 270 degrees to get pot starboard and fore aft. And on TDC2, you take the infamous clover measurement. That means that we take a measurement every 10 degrees. So that will result in a 360 view of the liner. When everything is done, you remove it. Basically go on to the next liner. You will get all the result in the post-processing tool. And that's it. And I think this is the end of the theoretical part of this training. Shall we take a 5 to 10 minute break? Is there anyone else there?
Yes, we are here.
Okay. Do you need a 10-minute break?
Nice.
For 10-minute break for coffee or water or something?
Okay.
Okay, so let's get back here again in 10 minutes. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. See you in 10 minutes.
See you there.
他休息了，马上他还要讲是吧？
我看一眼，这个好像啥？
So is everyone back? Oh, that's good. Can you please turn on the interface box, the LDM, and the tablets? And make sure the tablet is connected to an internet source, a Wi-Fi. Can anyone tell me what unit number the LDM is? Or the LDM tablet?
Hello, Frank.
Hi.
We use the LTM is very longer.
Okay, but when you start the
Could
tablet,
be the first vision.
so could it be 04669?
Okay.
Is it?
04669. Not sure.
When you start the let's see.
通知这个 tablet 的话，它要用这个 tablet 的序列号。
对。
它应该找这个的，找这个。
Ah. It says when you when you push this up, it says LDM unit and a number. Is that number 04669?
在哪里看到？
他说这个 tablet 的序列号是吧？
0469是哪个？
我不知道。
他说上面有司马04669。
哦，对，这个
Yes。
有吗
？04669看到了。
04669对的，
对的。
Yes， 04669这个。
对。是的。
还有远程控制。
我知道。
你别我看看你。哦，在这里，他这个在这时候。
So the number is 04669.
对。
Okay.
Okay.
I will try to connect to it.
team
对，不要动。
对。
好，可以了。
他在远程操作的。
他真厉害，他跟远程操
它像电脑一样，电脑都可以用。
这个仪器蛮先进的，真先进。
这就 Win10的系统嘛。
对呀。
Win10的系统都能远程的。Win7都可以。
这就是上次我们选的1690参考值。1472、126、700、320、277。
If I do this, let's see here. So this is your tablet, right?
Yes.
So let's see here. I will try to shift a little bit here. This is the first page. This is basically where you put in the entire recipe. You have the top land height, which is, I will try to find it here again. Sorry about that. Let's see here if I can do this properly. That's ribbon. So this is the preparation tool that the customer is supposed to fill in. And they will fill in vessel name right here, the IMO number, engine type, engine hours, and so forth. The most important is the bore size, stroke, the top land height, and distance between 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, if any. And that is, let's see if I can this is the numbers from the top land height to the center of the upper piston ring. That is A. That will be our fan. That will be that number. And that number is supposed to put in here. And the distance between 1 and 2, you put here. 1 to 3, 1 to 4. And that is so you can get the correct recipe. The rest of the measurement, 200, 300, and 400, you put in here. And this will result in a recipe that determines what height you're actually measuring on. So that is the first thing you do. This will be saved on the tablet. So if you measure the same boat again, you can just import that recipe, so you don't have to do this again. But then you have to remember what boat it was and if it's the same engine and everything. How many of you guys are new? Have you all done this before, or is there anyone there who is brand new to the LDM? Oh, well, just keep on going. From this, do everyone see the screen? Let's see here. On your tablet, we have a couple of control devices. See if I can do this. I have a little bit of lag. We start with the manual test. We can do that. Here you can actually test the status or the LDM if you want to. I will just check so everything is okay here.
出了过程都可以在这里看。软件的键连不上的话，看这里的。
Everything look fine.
Back.
Here you can actually push a couple of buttons just to see what's happening with the LM. So just try to push lock, for example, on the tablet. If you push this button here. No, lock, that is the base. It will be this one.
Best. Okay.
Yes. So if you push lock, the leg will go out. And if you put release, it will go in. So try to push lock on the tablet. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Yes.
If you push release, it will go back.
它不是ta-da了吗
Release 不是那个吗？
对 ，release 对 ，yeah.
So that's how
Okay.
it locks itself. You have two buttons for rotating. This one, rotate counterclockwise and rotate clockwise. Just try to push them around a little bit to see what's happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it works.
Yeah.
Everything works. And here you can, for example, push, go to 0, rotate 90, or rotate 180. And it will rotate 90 degrees or 180 degrees.
Fine.
轻按一下就不管了。
对。再按轻按这个。
对。还有一个
118.
Yes.
Yes.
No, go to 0.
Okay, so that works. We can go to the arm.
Yeah.
We have on the tablet we have probe eject and probe retract. If you push probe eject, the probe will go out.
点线中线。现在是出了你这个线。Jet ready. Yeah. Recheck.
So that works as
Okay.
well. Those are basically everything it does. So now we have seen that everything is working. These buttons here, we can, it says radius, but you get all the raw values. For example, the probe needle is completely out, so you will get a radius raw value of 8388428 is this number. So if you take your finger and push the needle in a little bit. We will get, just hold your finger there, please. We get a completely different number there.
Yes, yes.
得到的一个不一样的数据。
So you push it in a little bit further, you will get a different number again.
对，你再来深一点。
Yeah.
You see, a completely different
More
number.
little.
And that is how we measure it.
One different number.
Yeah.
The
Now it's pushed all the way in. So
完全。
No, okay.
So now it's all the way in. I can tell you because now we have a number of about 16 million. Then it's too far in. We never measure in that area.
Okay.
Okay. And here we have also the temperature of the arm, and on the other side of the LM.
Temperature.
Yeah, exactly. That is a thermometer. It's an infrared thermometer that measures the temperature of the liner.
Cylinder temperature.
Cylinder temperature 好像是这个都有。
是这个，但是上面会显示出来的 on 和 cylinder 的 temperature。
If for example you hold it still now, I can tell that your room temperature is about 23 degrees. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So if someone put their hand in front of the infrared camera, no, the entire hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
You will get the temperature of your skin basically. So if you put it on your shirt to your body, it will get hot.
温度上去了。
对。
对。
好像这个我们是旋转的时候，正好这个头到是对着我们的。旋转的。
It's not that really high, but it's slightly higher. But so that's the working component of the entire LDM. I don't know. Have you connected the height meter?
We don't.
No.
No height meter. Okay. You have a status button.
Yeah.
Tell you the battery level of the interface box, battery level of the measurement arm, battery level of the face.
Battery.
It's open. Everything is open.
Yes, and you have the software version number as well on the interface box, the ARM and the base. And 4.0.9 on the ARM and the base is the correct software. And the interface box is 1.3.1. You don't do much with this page, but it's a good source if you want to check and what kind of battery status you have, for example. Part ID is used for checking. That is the, if I'm not mistaken, the individual number of the motherboards on the LDM ARM, LDM base, and interface box. So it's not used for much, but one interesting thing: if you are out measuring somewhere, and you will get a message that says you have poor quality of signal. I will take this down.
The communication is bad.
It is a little bit of a lag to it. If you have a signal below 130, it's bad.
低于130是差的。
Okay.
254 is good.
Below 130.
Yes.
Yeah. Below 130? 30.
So this is okay. This is useful because when you're on the boat and you get a poor signal quality message, you can use the tablet and adjust the antenna a little bit. And you can see in real time if you have a good or a bad signal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's everything from this page. Ingenting här inne. You have app setting page. This is nothing you normally tinker with. This is the number of steps out for the probe and number of steps in. We use it when we factory calibrate the machine, but never ever after that one. So this page is not very useful for you to know. It is there, but you will never use it. And then we have the calibration page with the ARM setting. And depending on what software you have, okay, you have a slightly older software here. And this is very, very, very important to know. This page you cannot change. Okay? But this you can, but you're not supposed to. If you change this number, you will change the entire calibration of the machine. So those numbers here, you never touch in this square.
Yeah. We know.
It's
I know.
really important that you don't touch those numbers. If someone changes those numbers, you have to contact us. We have it in our file system, so you can get them back. But it's very important that you don't change them. Down here we have the diameter calibration. And this is, have you done any calibration before?
Yeah, yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
You have done a
Yes.
calibration. Okay.
yes.
I will show you some tips. You probably already know this, but I will show you how I do this here. Do you see my face?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
Okay.
can.
Yes.
yeah, we can.
So this is my rig. It's slightly off by yours. So if I want to calibrate, let's say a 500 liner, I will take a ruler. I will put in the base like this. Wrong key. Tighten it just a little bit. And then measure from the center of the cone to the point where the needle is supposed to hit. And if you calibrate 500, this measurement should be as close to 250 millimeters as possible. So 250 for a 500 liner, that is half. And when you have done that, you remove the base again. And then you have a, okay, I forgot that one. You either take a fixed, what's the English word for it? There are fixed pins you can use, like there are 500
Micrometer.
millimeters, or you can use a micrometer. Exactly.
Yes.
And you adjust the other end.
Micrometer.
Yes. And you use the micrometer to adjust this so it becomes exactly 500 millimeters, for example.
是的，50的，
一个50的吗？
对，再来把那个表给我，那个对。选到0还是可以的。
Yeah. Three hundred, 100, 50 and 50.
So how long is that one?
500.
Is that 500?
500.
500.
500.
Okay.
So let's see if you can calibrate the rig to 500.
500.
Okay. And then you will take something to make sure that it's absolutely 500, because the entire calibration doesn't get any better than your stick is calibrated. So it's very, very, very important that you get the micrometer.
Yeah, we know.
Yep. So let's see if we can try to calibrate the rig for 500.
Okay.
So what you do is you take your base, put it in like this. You take your ruler and you try to get as close to 250 millimeters as possible. So please do that.
Yeah.
他让他们做。
OK，
大家你们一人一起做呀。
对，一做做，
他
咱们做
做呀，
做。
照着他的一起做呀。他做一步，让你们跟着做一步嘛，就这个意思。
这个要解。
先弄上去，先把东西加上去，500了吗？现在不是按照500在称吗？你按照他的步骤呀。
You must put in the
先把
base.
base 放上去啊！你们这个 base 都没放上去。
对对，这个 base 这个没拆下来就。
对啊，你这个东西都没放上去。
You will have to take off the leg.
行。
你们跟他说一下，就说稍微等一下。Wait
a moment. Wait a moment.
Yes.
你不用着急，你看你。
我也着急。
哎，这个后面这个确认了没有？对吧？
有500了吗？
对，250，对。
放上去，然后中间250嘛，他不是说嘛，对，差不多250的位置，你给他两条线调好，对。
这个先做。
对你大概就是他就是大概250的位置给他调好，中间的这个地方，对。你这样斜的肯定不准的呀，你们这个看的你肯定不准的呀，你要这个大概你这样斜的一头上一头高的正的能准吗？这个肯定不会准的呀。你要给它放好，大概或者
这样。
这看的对。
这样好。
对，或者上面，哎，对，他刚才不是这么测的吗？对，你这个杆不能给它斜着呗，斜着呗不是不准的吗？这个也是大概的，只是大概的，先给他讲。
And when that is done, you lock this place firmly, okay? So after this is done, remove the base.
OK，
这样。
Yes.
给我。
Remove the base. You take the micrometer.
Yeah.
And you adjust the other end.
Yeah, it's done. Okay.
If that's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, you will put the base back. Just tighten it a little bit.
F 找不到 FMT 合适的尺寸的。
A moment.
Yes. And then we have the arm. I can tell you right now that your arm is a little bit too long for BF500. You should see it on that hole there.
Okay. The very is 720.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Of course, you remove those two, and shove it together.
假设这个是没问题的。
500的，包括那个什么都不用的，对。
那个啥，我那个稳重那个平衡块。
就是平衡块也不用的，500的嘛，这个都不用的，对的。你这个是包的不用去的，你刚才是哪？
You will see in the bottom which diameter.
OK， 你先让他看一下，你再收紧嘛。对。OK。
OK。
OK。
这个是个测量技术啊。
这测量基础，测量
500的话，它是3到最里面是吧？
对，最小的。
就最小的呀，3到最里面的，这个是上去对。
他这个到最后，他要把这个东西弄进去，他还做那个升降装置 live device 那个，他不是那超过700的那个，直接手放进去还很快的。
600以上就
对，600对。
600以下可以用。
那个空小。
对，空小嘛，它就是你手不伸不进去。 只要你手能伸进去，你用手放一下还快。
对，我感觉手放一下快。
对，你手只要伸得进去，你就能手放一下，这个没有明确的。它就是搞了，因为手伸进去费劲嘛。
对。
我就看着他的视频，他会告诉你。
Exactly. And you put it into like this.
你这手动，逆时，CCW， 再来一点，这个应该这。
Right here you have some helps. So if you push those out, you can use this one a little bit. You have to use a key. If you push that one out, it will look something like this. So you get a little bit of help, right?
不是，你下面这两个还得打开，能打开吧？
是吗？
这两个打开。
什么打开？
不是，他刚才不是教你们那个？
对。
这个。
Looking 在这里。
So if you take your
那个他还没说，他说的是这个。
If you take your tablet, let's see here.
Tablet， 然后现在要开始用
Yes. And you push that is set R1 button. Then you align the entire LDM so it gets to the stop here.
OK， 这边是可以顶住的。
对，一头是顶住的。
Yeah.
就你那边肯定要顶住的呀。 对。
Okay, this is a little bit special for the 500 calibration because on the back side here.
看它翻下来是那个，你看它是拿它这个，那就这个东西是吧？啊，就这个可以对松开这个，它是这样翻下来，我看它是你看翻倒来再松的，它是把这个东西这样翻倒来再松的，这样安全一点，要不然你这样可能
You
它
can take this so it goes like this, basically.
你看它，对，你看它是这样，它这样拿吧比较安全一点，可能你这样松掉，可能它会掉下来。它是把这个东西再翻倒在桌上，然后再给它拿，
Like this.
对吧？
Exactly.
是的，让你们看清楚一点。
And this end, you're gonna get stuck there, right? So it goes like this, boom.
顶住嘛，是吧？对，就是这个。
好像是。
So that end is the back
你
side.
这边不要调，他不说你，他现在调的是哪一块啊？
This one is down. Oh, sorry about that. This end points down.
对，他只调一边呀。你看这边它是松的呀，你看这边是不要调，这块东西放下来呀，这块东西要放下来。你看，这块东西放下来，这块不要调呀。他叫你后面顶住嘛，就是可以。这块东西你要看它松的状态，你看它不是松的状态。
The probe is, it's like that.
对，the probe 就是缩进去的，出来，是对，
It's
现在
like
是缩
that.
进去。
Yes.
Yes.
Because I can see you have it backwards because that is the back side on yours.
你反了，他说你们。
So
这
change.
两个东西，你看，你这样的话它转不起来，两个同一方向的，这个东西怎么转？你这反了，所以你们这两块东西转的就有点反了。这一块放下来嘛，我不是说了吗？一块放下，你不能两块都顶死，它怎么转呀？不是你一块后面的顶住，你前面那块放下来呀。
这个顶不住了。
不，你不要拆下来呀，就是它松开，然后把它让它这样竖的状态。哎，对，松掉，后面那块你要顶住的，后面还是要顶住的呀。
跟它方向一致。
跟它方向一致，它是左边的，顶的左边还是右边的？你看它，它是左手边顶住的。不，我看看它那个，因为这个方向是，你看两边是你们不一样的。
So you have it kind of backwards.
然后还反
So you have the probe.
它是左手顶住，就这边顶住啊。
这脚这边松掉的，脚这边是松掉的。
It should be like this.
不是，这边是那个，就是说，
他的左手边是顶住的。
它是左手边是顶住的，它是这个方向做的呀，它是这样顶，这边是松的，这边是松的。是这样的。那你们做的时候就应该调过来，应该把这个probe放在这边，刚才应该也是。
给它调过来。
你们应该跟它方向一致，所以你们跟它方向像这个这样，你把这个机器换调过来不就完了吗？对，你跟它方向一致，这个搞不清楚了呀。它就是这边固定，这边松开的，哎，对，这边还是，对，这边固定是对。
Please turn it again. Please turn it around again so I can see what you're doing. Turn the entire rig around.
反过来说，他要看到咱们在哪边做的是哪个？
不是。
我也快有了。
这肯定是对的，这肯定是对的。
Oh, you can do that too.
对的，它是螺丝的。OK， 收回。
对，你看这边顶住的，
对，这就是
他的左手的外面顶住的是吧？他的左手的外面。那我这边松开，对，你看这就松开状态。
这个螺纹不对。啊？这个螺纹上不进去，一个大的一个小的，一个大一个小。那这个呢？ 这个螺纹和这个一样的吗？
可能是螺丝都是标配的，原先就在上面的，怎么会上不去的呢？这不都是一样的呀？原先
用手塞进去。
不是，它原先就是一样的，配上去的不就这个吗？怎么会现在上不去？
两边一个大一个，这边是可以上的。
怎么回事？
我们看这个后面已经打开了，这个我们还没打开这个。
那个螺丝上，
这个螺丝好像
这个有没有大一点的、粗一点的？
还没有多少，
不是这个螺丝是这个螺丝，你看
那个螺丝的
这个太小了，你看太小了，直接是用旋律进去。
So if you pay attention, this one,
发生了。
all the way up.
这边是旋进去的。
Does it look like this?
就是像它这样的，就是反正像它这边肯定是要固定的，外边。
This one is hanging down, and this one is right there. This is the probe end.
带住不就好了吗？
It's supposed to be out.
拧不进去吗？你拿
This
这
is
么
the thermometer.
对，它是滑，
它这个是两边不一样的，它那边也不一样。
对，
它那边也是。
那就是你这边只能是那个上的，那你就把机器能倒过来吗？把这个东西倒一下，像上面的那个。
对的，把这个东西。
啊，对，整个都是拆下来重新倒一下呗。
Hey, stop.
你把这个放的是不是要把这个放？
对手。
不这是
Stop.
还要你停的。是你们这对的不对了，这些的经过的彻底。
Is anyone listening to what I'm saying?
你把这个弄回去吧。
No.
好了，你们这个钱还有。
这个固定住了吗？
固定住。
哎，对，先把这个两个角先打开嘛。
紧上。
那个无声螺丝打开。
先不用了。
它已经打开了。
我们不是。
Okay.
不能动。
So.
按照他的做。
这个对。错的。这个是。
是不是一样的？
朝里面那一面。他们说刚才这两边螺丝说拧不上去，螺丝不对手。
那边顶上就行了。说真的，不用一模一样的呀，就差不多这样就行了。顺时针逆时针换一下。
他就要你们，哎呀，你要顺时针转呀。
他居然跟他一模一样操作。
Where you have the measurement needle, this one is supposed to be out.
所以就是你他是跟他一样。
Yes.
就是让你跟他。
This one needs to look like that.
就像他一样，左边就是他的左手，就你这边左手，这个一定要在外面的，他就是个意思嘛。那不是在跟你说吗？这个要在外面，就这个地方要固定住，是不是？但是他的这个是尾部嘛，就是这边嘛，应该是这边呀，是不是？所以我就是他的这边是这边，他的左手是这边，应该是他是站在这个位置在弄啊，是不是？是不是？
So you're missing this part. No.
所以他说你这步骤还不对的呀，你这个步骤做的不对呀，你这个还是不对呀，就是。稍微等一下，你们这样弄的很危险的，回来摔下来都摔破了。对，你就是他的也和一样的，就像他的呢，左边就是外面固定死，对，就这个意思嘛。啊，对，就按照他这边做嘛。
他的左手边正好是这边左手边，
就你们左手边嘛，他的左手边就你们左手边，你把这边固定死，对。 跟你们在说，跟他一样，对，他的左手他不在指嘛，这是他的左，他这样子给你们说嘛，是吧？他的左手就这个呀，在外面。啊？
这边不行。
啊？换一个东西算了，哎呀，你这个换一个是吧？这东西你搞得不对的呀。
No, wrong side. Wrong side. Wrong side.
我觉得这个有好几个呀，我们这个 qualification 有好几个呀。你这个要换一
The
个。
other end of the LDM, please.
The same effect.
You have it on the wrong side of the LDM. This one supposed to be where the needle is.
我跟你们讲，你们怎么会这个样子的？你们刚开始这个头就转过了，和那个脑袋朝外面的，伸出来，小针是朝外面的，所以这根针才会在那一边。
This one is supposed to be where the needle is. On that side.
你不要搞这个，
这是那个螺丝。
你那个开始测的时候，放的时候就没有放到开始位置，所以才会出现这种状况。对，这样就跟它方向一样了。
我一开始就在说呀，他说这个螺丝孔不对，非说拧不上去，就是要跟他一样的。说了半天就是要拧，就是要一样的。
Okay, stop.
不对的嘛，一开始不都是能拧的吗？
Can we stop this? Okay, now you have this one on the other side, right? So do it like this. Take off the arm.
这个拿下来，
Take off the
这个
arm.
拿下来，
Just
对，
put it on the
拿下来，
table.
放下来，
放这个。
你就看他的步骤。
Okay. You have this piece here. That is on your left side, right?
Yes.
这个在左边 ，yes， 对的，你要跟他一模一样，对。
This is where this one should point out. Okay?
对啊，对的。
I suggest you, if you go to, let's see here. You turn the arm 180 degrees. Can you turn it back?
180度转，把这个
Can you turn it back 180 degrees?
转回来，
This piece here.
180度转一下。
转回来，这个头，看他的这个头。
就这个头嘛，哎，这个头
Okay,
嘛。
stop.
对
Stop there.
Stop.
Put the
转一
arm
下，还没
on
往
the
前倒。
base
好，
like this.
然后把这个放上去。
Okay.
它放上去，它左边是这个测量头吗？确定一下。
This
是左
one
边
is
是测量头，
别中你。
是左边是测量头吗？
Listen to me,
对的，
please.
这个可以往
Yes,
右转。
the
对，没
left
错的。
is
When this one is turning, it's supposed to stop.
对的。不，这边应该动不过去的。他说你只能这边是挡住嘛，对，就是这个意思，这边是挡住。
没办法顶住。
那个长的是吗？把那个换下来。
你两个这两个有长短的。
这个长的，这个
这两个它本身就设计好的，就不能换来换去的。反正就设计好的一头是那个。
挡不住，你是不是测量刚刚量的时候有点问题啊？
对呀，你怎么会挡不住呢？你们是不是尺寸又乱掉了？
它本身就是挡不住的，500尺寸的时候就是会这样。
它能挡住的呀。 他不告你们要挡住的呢，
挡不住，挡不住，
要挡不住就不对了呀。
挡不住，把这个东西
你重新再量一下，你还对不对了？这个尺寸，还是不是500了？
对啊，250啊。这只有一个方法，就是把这个往这边，
你们别弄，别弄。
这个往这边靠，这边往这边靠不动了，这是对里面了。
但是如果现在是500就算了，你不管挡不挡得动，500调了你下面没法调了。要是500就对了，就不管了。
Stop.
又叫你 stop 了，对呀，你就不管了，那就对的，就不要管它了。你那边有多出来吗？
Stop.
总共是500对的吧？
No. If you touch those screws, you have to do everything all over again with a micrometer. So now, take off the head on the arm. Take this one off. And take the micrometer and check everything again. Because you are not allowed to touch those afterwards.
内径切分子重新量。
这个挡不住的。
你肯定下面弄的不对的，不可能挡不住的。那重新量。
哎，先来这个量，先量这个。
把它量了一下，量过。
Lani?
这样你。
Yes.
Yes. Do you have who is the most experienced guy? Is that Gary?
Pardon? Gary is not here.
Okay. Okay, then I know. I just wanted him for support. We will try it.
不，你们重新来呀，反正就是250先量好呀。
那边不是那个叫什么？到0为止是50吗？
No, it's okay.
Okay.
然后再放上去，重新。
Okay, before you do this.
听他说。
对的，从这里伸进去。
Put that one on the same side as that one.
他就说这个你还是要先装上去啊，你们这个把它装回去。
我说的多少题？当时为什么会拆下来？
对啊，你们为什么拆下来？这个不要拆下来，这个就装在上面的，你不要拆下来。你们为什么都是不给拆的？
这两个是一样的，
不要拆。
不要拆往在上面，它这上面本来就固定住的，有些东西你们不要拆。它就安到上面的呀，那么好不要拆下来。横过来，对，固定。 哎，对。
Okay. You put the arm on.
这可以伸过来了呀！你看这个是可以调的，你看怪不得挡不住。你看这里可以调的呀。
刚才也调过了，刚才不可能没
调过了吗？
刚才
再试试看。
刚刚调过的。
好的，再看。然后
就差一点，你看就差，对，就差。
就差一点，这个没办法。500。
So now we are on here.
It's
to
not
get the first.
below.
Okay, then you push rotate clockwise just briefly on the tablet. It is.
方向是。
看。
顺时针方向转是吗
？On the tablet.
tablet 呀，这里上面转呀 ，tablet 转呀，把你 tablet 操作呀，顺时针转。
不行，别转，把它翻过来，把指针别住了，刚刚。
指针别。
No, don't touch the other one. No. Push rotate clockwise till it goes like dunk.
对的呀，这个这样，你上面
逆时针
对呀。
On the tablet.
转，刚才卡到这里，刚才卡到指针上了。
说给你听他。
Let's see here.
你那边是最短的。
我刚才
是以前我操纵的时候是这样的，500的时候，它转外面的壳子不会转，但是会把里面的指针别住。
我觉得他这边移过来，这边反过来，我觉得就对了。
On the tablet, you press rotate clockwise.
这样对。
你说是这个东西啊？
这边移到这边，对，这个蓝色的这个。
那蓝色的，
就上来。
这是他说的是，
哎，这个东西别动它，没有动过的东西。
但是它显示的蓝色的就是在左边的。
500的
，500的。See this?
挡不住。
Rotate clockwise. Have you done that? Exactly.
不行，是这样
不是，你看它的方向你们不对，我就是它的呢，这个在右手边啊，这个在右边呀。啊
One more time. Rotate clockwise.
这是他的左手。
对面呀，
这是他的左手。
是在哪个？他的右手呀。
这个。
对呀，他的 probe 是在他的右手，你们在左手边呀。我不是说方向不对了吗
？Rotate clockwise.
我就说你们这不是对了吗？你看，他的 probe 是在那边呀，他的 probe 是在那个方向，右手边啊。你看这个头。
Rotate clockwise on the tablet.
应该转回去啊，是。你可以把它弄回去，现在不对呀，你这个方向跟他是反的呀。你现在跟他一致就不对了，你应该跟他反的才跟他一致呀，是吧？因为你是照片对的呀。你要看他的人的左手边、右手边。他的意思，我的意思是说，他这个头是在右手边的测量头。
你们这个基数的东西看哪？
You see this?
对的呀，他也左手边，我就说他这个头应该在那边呀，就这个意思啊。我说你们这个装的不对呀。
这个装的没有。
这个是左手边，那就这个应该装的，上面装错了，就上面都装错了吧？
那就转180。
不是，就上面。你们。像你要看这个方向呀，你看他的 probe 他是这么站着的呀，他的 probe 在右手边，你 probe 在左手边。 是不是？他这个在左手边对的呀，你不是左手边没错呀。也就是说你上面这个方向装错了，是不是
？And anyone, please push the button rotate clockwise on the tablet.
No, we can't do it because the 这个指针怎么说
？Probe is blocked by.
No, Frank.
Yes.
Frank. And then ask, I see from your picture, the probe should be the measuring arm. The probe should be in the right hand, right?
The probe is going out later, but.
No, I mean, is at your right hand, okay? The measuring arm, the probe is on your right hand, not left hand. But not the probe at left side.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the right side or the left side. We are on a very good.
Yes, but they want to follow you completely the same as you do. So
okay.
I think we should turn it. Yeah.
Okay, I can turn this around. So.
Oh, you take yeah.
Okay, so now you press rotate clockwise briefly on the tablet. It should be.
再转180度啊！对，你再转过来。
这边。
不，你现在那边松开。
Is that clockwise? No. That is counterclockwise. I showed you before. Show you again.
Not clockwise.
No. Stop.
反方向，逆时针不是顺时针。Counterclockwise 是逆时针。 不是顺时针转，这个方向有反的，这里有顺时针、逆时针的吧？啊，这个要转这个的呀，啊。
Get the screen.
Yeah, sorry，这是逆时针转，不是顺时针转。你先把它松开，对，逆时针。OK。我再重新来过。你现在这，所以你，好吧，这样就应该对了吧？ sorry，一头是松开的，那两头都横过来呀，一头是竖的呀，一头是松开的，一头是横着的，你不能两头都横着呀，两头都横着怎么搞啊？哎，一头松开，哎，对。Okay, then we try again.
Okay, let's do this exactly as I do it. Okay.
Okay.
Take these ones off. These ones off.
这个拿掉，他说。不，他的是右手边的吧？他刚才拿掉是，左手边跟你一模一样，他现在位置跟你一模一样，对。他现在是跟你一模一样，不是反方向了，对。就跟你一模一样了，对。好了。Yes.
Okay. The probe. The other one as well.
The probe is
Both.
where is it? Right hand. Here we have the probe here.
Here are my hind legs,
Yes.
and here is my probe.
Yeah.
You turn it around. Turn the arm around.
Cross wire.
Yes. All the way around.
Cross wire or counter cross wire.
Doesn't matter. But take both of these off. Take both of these off.
两个都拿下来，这个也要拿下来。Take both of the bracket. OK.
Both.
两个都拿。
Take both off.
OK，I see. 两个都拿下来，然后转，他就这样的话，你伸一伸无所谓了，随便转，是这个意思。你两个先拿下来，然后随便转，先转。对，先转。
Okay. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the probe is here.
Yes, probe here.
Yes. You take one.
拿 probe 的地方锁住，然后你拿一个这边锁住，这边锁住，拿一个这边锁住 probe 这边锁住。
这边锁不住的。
刚刚应该这样的有个斜。
不是，这边有那个错误，这个错误就是刚才那个。
我试一下看看。那边能锁住吗？
这边对，右边能锁住，左边锁不住。
不，他现在应该是跟我们一模一样的位置吧？
That is it. Now you push now you push the button clockwise.
Clockwise.
On the tablet.
顺时针，这里。
实际上这样应该不行，因为这样会把
顺时针这里又
会把指针裂开。关键是我们这个设备从一开始就这一边是那个状态。
So does it hit the stop or not?
No, it's balanced. You can see it's balanced clock.
The problem is
it's not clocked here.
Okay, press clockwise. Rotate CW on the tablet.
No, but if we take the clockwise, the probe will hit here. Will be blocked here.
Yes, it's supposed to hit like that.
No.
It goes past. Okay. Okay, that is slightly a problem.
Yeah. So it's a.
Okay. This is what we do.
We must do on the right hand.
Now you're supposed to do it on both. So this is what you do. Take everything off. Take off the arm.
Take everything off. 把所有东西都拿下来。不，这些拿下来。这个也拿下来。对。
And this is what you do. You unscrew this. Let's see here.
你看我们这个螺丝在里面，这螺丝在外面。
This one. You unscrew it 5.
The screw here is inside, but the screw
Yeah, I know.
on your
I know.
tablet is outside.
I know. I know. This is an old model. You have the newer one.
Okay.
这是正常的，别拆别拆，这是老的版本。
我的
That way.
他要我们拆下来
So
呀
it，goes out.
勾灯呀，他说拆下来呀，你把它拧下来呀。
Yes. Like five revolutions about.
五张，他说五张。So take off.
No.
No. 哦，只是转一下就可以了。哦，转5圈。
You're supposed to turn it like
Okay.
5 revolutions.
OK，他给转个5圈就行了，不是全部倒下来。就不管了，先这样，不管了，到时候再看。
I'm gonna check something here. Try to make this about 7 millimeters out from that end.
7 millimeter。
7毫米出来7毫米啊，他说从哪个地方出来7毫米？
Like 5 millimeters.
它这里7毫米是吧？
这个螺丝啊，哪个螺？这里哪里还有螺丝啊？我一看，哪里还有个螺丝啊？这个已经的对啊，这已经出来了，我们已经装这外面了呀。
This one is supposed to stick out about 7 millimeters.
这边大概出来7毫米，旋进去。
这个地方，这个螺丝出来7毫米，他说。
We take 5 minutes break, and I will see.
5 minutes here, 5 millimeters here, there, here.
Yeah, on the inside. Yes.
Inside,
on the
OK.
inside.
这里还是5毫米，对的对。
5毫米，7毫米了。
5毫米，他说，因为你越拧进去，哦，5毫米到是吧？5个毫米，他说。
7个。